Hey, Natsu here. Um, Today I'm going to do part 2 of what if Deku had the magma fruit. In the last part, I ended just before getting to well, before before Deku got in class. He's basically he got the most points. He's extremely strong. He can fight for 3 days straight without problem while using every bit of his strength. Like at max power, he can do that for 3 days, which is extremely big since nobody in the My Hero Academy, basically fights for that long. So yeah. Um in the last part I explained everything he could do, how he can basically fight for 3 days straight, how he can, well, how he trained his body to be able to do exactly like the crocodile, the sand guy. If anything tries to hurt him, he basically turns automatically. So yeah, he arrives in class. Ida's doing the same thing with talking to Bakugo. Um, Ida sees Deku. He goes to him and tells him how, well, kind of same as in the anime, except without the sorry for him trying to tell Deku to stop it because he's bothering people. So later, um, Ochako enters the class. Same thing happens with her. Basically everything happens the same from that all the way up to when they go outside in their, when Aizawa tells them to go put their sports uniform on. Reason for the difference is basically that in the changing rooms, everyone except Bakugo is impressed, every guy is impressed by how Deku's body is, like muscle tone is massive. And Shoto asks him, so you're the lava guy? Which Deku says yes. And wait, no, not now. He will say that, but not now. Shoto just thinks, shit, he looks strong. So they go outside. They go to start the training. Aizawa decides to ask Bakugo to throw the ball because basically, yeah, his quirk can literally just boost the way if he throws something by putting a force behind it. So yeah, he did that. People say, oh, it's going to be fun. Oh yeah, Bakugo got like twice the amount that he got in the anime. I know it's a lot, but think about it like that. The only way Bakugo was using his quirk was basically to bully people without training. In this one, he trained like hell just to be able to fight. Well, just because he wanted to be able to try and fight against Deku. So, over time, everyone does the things. Deku's basically first in almost every one of them. Up until the ball throw that the only person that's over him is Ochako. Which he basically gets like around 4 or 5 kilometers in distance because of the massive strength. When that ended, everyone got a bit over the score they had, but Mineta's in last place. So, yeah. After that, Deku, after that, Aizawa said to Mineta that he needs to try harder the next time, and tells them all to go back in and change back to their school uniform, telling them that it was just a lie to try and make them go all out. Deku just was like, no, you really were going to do this. Something happened. But he didn't say it out to anyone, he kept it to himself. Later, All Might told him, well, basically that. So, okay. Later, after that, Shoto went to talk directly to Izuku and started telling him that asking him if he was the guy who got the most points in the entrance exam, basically saying yes, and Shoto saying that because of him, his father tried to force him to use his other side even more, basically being mad at Deku. Deku asking him who his father is, and Shoto telling him, and Deku says, oh, you mean the guy that always seems angry for nothing? I was asking myself if one of his kid was going to come this year, which basically Izuku tells him that it was kind of weird a bit too, that he's always like that, and Shoto tells him that yeah, he's always like that, and because of you he seemed to be worst. And Deku says, yeah, well, at the same time, he doesn't seem to really want to do anything else than to beat All Might, or by himself, or by someone else. So, Shoto tells him that basically his dad's trying to make him the weapon to beat All Might, which Deku's like, why the hell would he do that? That's dumb. He should let you do what you want. Hell, he wants you to use his quirk, but it's not even his quirk, it's yours. I saw you use your eyesight, but, well, I'm guessing if he wants you to use his quirk, you have your other side of your body that makes fire. So, he basically looks at it and says that it's he shouldn't really try and how should I say this? Shoto shouldn't try to hide that quirk because basically it's not even his father's quirk anymore, it's his own now. And that if he wants him to become stronger than All Might, try to he just said beat up show it to your father that you're stronger than him already and that he's not the one in control of you. Show him that you can use your quirks as best as you can, which basically inspires Shoto because the guy doesn't even seem to think that Endeavor is good. He sees him for who he is, a guy that's just angry and wants to be the best, which basically makes Shoto kind of calmer and already starts thinking, yeah, he's right. It's not my father's quirk. It's my own quirk. And if my dad wants to control me, I have to show him that he's not in control. That I'm better. And then he asks Deku, so can I have help training my powers? I never used my fire side, so I'm pretty sure it's weak. Which Deku looks at him and says, if you want to train, we can train later. You want to come to my house? Which he basically accepts. So Izuku thought about it and said he wants to prove his dad that he's stronger without the need of his power. So he just thinks and in his head it just pops All Might. He wants to give his quirk to someone. If I train him and ask All Might to give his power, he should be able to fight against me. It should be fun. Literally, he's not thinking of the good of humanity in that moment. He just thought, okay, I can have a rival that actually has something against me. So he basically Shoto tells his dad he's going to the house of someone else. He's going to come for the next few days. While Deku asks his mom, and she says, yeah, it's okay. Someone comes to sleep for a bit. Come past someday if it's to train and study. So basically Shoto for the entire week he's going to sleep in Midoriya's house. And they're gonna train a lot. So the next day, basically Deku just kind of showed his power and explained to Shoto that he should try and activate both of his quirk at once and keep them on to try and control the heat, cold, and probably be able to increase it a hell of a lot more. So basically during the night, neither of them really sleeps. They're basically doing that. Then during that time, Shoto asked Deku what he can do, but he asks everything that you can do. Which Deku basically explained that he can fight for 3 days straight without doing anything to sleep, eat, or anything. Well, he still needs to eat, but he doesn't have to fight for those 3 days. He explains to Shoto that basically if anything attacks him, even from a blind spot, basic his body basically transforms automatically. That basically the only place he cannot fight is underwater, because if he sees the water coming, he can transform. Well, he can use his quirk to make it go away. But if he falls into it or is into it, he basically loses strength and isn't able to move, because, well, basic he's basically just kind of unable to move because his quirk kind of made of lava. Underwater it start hardening. He basically think that that's the weakness. So he says cold and water is my weakness. So basically you are the only thing in class that is good against me. So Shoto says, so wait, you want to help me for what reason then? If it only makes me stronger and closer to beat you. And then Izuku tells him, well, I trained a lot with one of my friends. His name is, well, Bakugo, the guy in class that always yell. And he explains to him that the only reason he's that strong is because he trained with him for a while. Well, why Bakugo is that strong is basically because he trained with Deku. So, over time, well, no. The next day, there's the fight, hero versus villain that happens. Ida, Bakugo versus Ochako and Deku. And basically, before they're the first, and basically, even before the thing starts, Bakugo basically just said, I forfeit. I cannot fight against that kid. We do not have any chance of winning. Like, All Might just made the thing, and Ida was like, what do you mean? We can still even try. And then Bakugo says, I have trained for years with him. You do not get it. For all of this time we trained together, he never used his full strength against me, and I never even been able to land a hit on him, or even slow him down. If he wants in that building, he can basically just smoke us out, or engulf the whole building in his lava, and destroy us, or basically just start trying make the entire ground around us lava and the building melting. We're gonna have to come out this way. Even if we face him head on without him using his quirk, he can he can literally walk around with something that is at least 2 tons on his shoulder and doesn't even seem to be slowed down by it. Yeah, Deku's strong. So basically he does like, so we cannot face him. And All Might says, so you won't even try it? Not even if he doesn't use his quirk? Then Bakugo says, even if that happens, my quirk is ineffective against him. We don't have water to try and slow him down. Which everyone kind of looks at him and like, water? Then Bakugo says, yeah, well, he goes to shut up, and then Deku says, if I fall in water, my body basically cannot activate my quirk, and I can't move either. Everyone's like, what? How the hell did you get a weakness like that? Until Bakugo says, his body is made of lava. Water makes it cool down and harden. And everyone's kind of like, oh, water is the weakness for that. So, yeah. They don't even get to fight Bakugo, just kind of explain why nobody can face him in the class. So, over time, Deku and Shoto trained a lot after that day, up until basically also one thing I'm going to say. Deku's hero suit. I'm gonna have to go look for it again. I'll be right back. Can't find it. So I'm basically going to do something different. His suit is going to be like Kirishima, you're going to be able to see a lot of skin, but on his arm there's going to be two kind of bracelet, a bit like those of Bakugo's, but instead of being for that, it's basically he can open it. Well, one part can advance to go over his hand, basically looking a bit like Mega Man's cannon, and that's basically like a pressurized air cannon to throw lava really far. Like Deku can throw a ball of lava. With the cannon, he can basically send that ball of lava a lot further. And that's basically it. It's not identical to Kirishima either. It's like he has the top of his body completely uncovered with the gauntlet. Um, in his hero costume, he basically keep his hair transformed into lava, kind of flowing a bit to look like a volcano. And his name is going to be Lava Ball, the lava hero. Sorry about that. I think I was talking a bit far. Sorry. Um. So yeah, he has gauntlet to throw lava. His suit is basically like red pants, shirtless, with his hair that he just makes in lava. It's kind of flow down him, but not completely. Like it's his normal hair, but down and made of lava. That's basically it. His hero name will be or Lava Ball or Volcanus. You can choose to tell me which one you prefer between the two. If not, in the next episode, I'm going to decide which one it is. Or you can give the name you. Or you can put in the comment which name you actually want to see. And I'm going to think about it. But yeah. So after that, where was I? Oh yeah, I finished the hero versus villain. So basically, over time, Deku and Shoto trained, which augmented, well, basically over like the whole week, they basically trained to augment and the heat and cold resistance from Shoto and the strength of his ice and fire. So when the class president arrived, everything happens the same, with Ida being the one who tells everyone to stop that it's just the media, him becoming class president, and then going to the USJ. While they're going to the USJ, Tsuyu asks the same question, everyone answers the same thing, up until she asks Izuku, and then Izuku basically says that explains how his quirk actually awakened, that he was deemed quirkless, and that at some point while they were camping, a villain attacked them, and that all he knows is that when the villain attacked him, he was just about to die, and really just before he died, he basically turned for the first time into lava, which he then did whatever he could to augment his power, strength, and control. And that now he's basically able to fight for 3 days straight. He almost never gets hurt. Literally, like I said, there's no prism stone, there's no hockey. So the only thing that can harm him are water or ice. So good luck even trying to do anything to him. So I'm going to end it here with him explaining to everyone what he can, can't, and can't do, what's his weakness, and what he's trying to do to face it. He says that he tried a lot of time to kind of continue moving underwater over his time getting his quirk. And just like Sea Prism Stone, I'm pretty sure a Devil Fruit user can augment his resistance to it to the point of still being able to move, just not being able to use his powers. And I'm gonna say Deku says now he can kind of move. He can try to swim, but he's not really able to yet, since he's really slowed down. But it's not as before where all he can do is think. So, yeah, this time Deku is strong. Like, overpowered compared to most people. Almost nothing can harm him. And yeah, so this was part 2 of what if Deku had the magma fruit. Hope you liked it, and ciao!